like a Friday night on the weekend. I feel blessed and free.
We're just gonna go ahead and hop right into this video. So first, of course, I'm starting off with carving out my brows, and I'm using the Sephora brow pencil, and this is in the shade like chocolate, I believe. I feel like I never know what the shades are, but I promise you, anything that I can find, I will link it down below so you guys can check it out. But this part is always pretty much the same. I just, carve out my brows. I start filling in my eyebrows as well. And it's funny because I didn't think that I was going to go back to eyebrow pencils after using a pomade for so long. But for some reason, I have found a new love for eyebrow pencils once again. It just seems like it's so much easier to work with. They look more natural, and it just really gives me that look I've been going for. It's not so harsh. So I've just been really, really enjoying eyebrow pencils lately. So I'm filling everything in, and as you will notice, I did actually forget, once we get to the concealer part, I forgot to carve the top of my eyebrows, which I never do, but it actually didn't turn out bad since I did get the shape pretty good, just as I was drawing my eyebrows in. But I cannot believe that I forgot to do that. So here I'm going in with my concealer. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Wear Concealer, and this is a bit lighter than my skin tone because I wanted the colors on my eyes to pop. So I love to always use a concealer to put down first, and it just gives me like that dramatic carve, and it just gives the eyeshadow like a nice base to pop out on. So I'll go ahead and do that to both of my eyebrows, and I fill everything in. And then once I get done carving out my eyebrows, I'll go ahead and take the concealer and I bring it down all over my lid, and that will serve as my base for my eyeshadow. Once I put that on my eyes, I just make sure I blend it all out. Now, something that I do in this video that I don't do all the time, I actually bring it over my nose, like in the middle of my nose. And that's pretty much only so it's like really seamless, like under my makeup. But you absolutely don't have to do that. Sometimes I do that too if I use too much concealer and I don't want any harsh lines under my makeup. So when I actually bring it to the bridge of my nose, it just pretty much keeps me from having to do like so much extra blending after I put on my foundation. But like I said, you absolutely don't have to do this part. I just do this sometimes. It's not really, important. So the translucent powder, I use that to go ahead and set my eyelids. You can also use your banana powder as well, but today I just wanted to keep the color of the concealer the same, so I didn't add any banana powder. But the translucent powder or any type of setting powder is really important so that your eyes do not crease, because especially if you're oily like me, your eyes will crease pretty quickly. So I'm going to go in with this Mrs. Bella palette from BH Cosmetics. This palette is discontinued, but I did find it at either Marshall's or TJ Maxx. But I'm going to go in with that Scorpio color, and this is just going to serve as like my transition shade. So I'm pretty much putting this on my crease, but it's also a little bit on my lid and my brow bone as well. So I'm just kind of using that just as like a middle ground to put everything in place. So first I tap off the excess off of my brush, and then the second time that I go in, I don't tap off the excess because I want to have it a little bit more strong and I want to build it up. So I pretty much do this to both of my eyes, and I just want to get them as even as possible. Keep in mind, I always say this, I am not a professional at all. I feel like I'm still learning makeup. It's always a nice, learning experience, but makeup is just pretty fun. So I just do what I can. So yeah, it's really important just to try to take your time, try to blend, because sometimes the colors with certain eyeshadow palettes, they don't blend as well, so you really have to take more time. But this palette is pretty buttery and pretty easily blendable, so I really like it. It's a really cute little 8-pan eyeshadow palette, so I really like this one. So after I get done with this brown shade, I'm going to go in with this baby girl pink shade, and I'm going to blend out the edges of my eyeshadow. And this is just kind of giving me like a little Neapolitan look, as well as like blending out any harsh lines that I may have. But it does kind of give me like a cute little ombre effect. Now, I always say you have to trust the process, because makeup always, not always, but a lot of the times makeup can really look crazy and it doesn't come together until the end. So I always say, just stick with me. I swear it's all going to come together, even if it doesn't make sense right now. But I really liked how this looked. I actually wore this to a little carnival that I went to, and if you have not seen that video, make sure you check that one out, because that vlog is the video directly before this one. And make sure you guys, if you're still here, make sure you please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. So I'm going to go in with this Ciate Velvet London palette, and I'm going to go in with this like kind of pinky shade. So I will say with this palette, the darker shades are way more buttery than the lighter shades. The lighter shades are giving a little patchy, and it's a little hard to work with them. So once I started using this, like I kind of remembered how hard it was to try to make sure it was more seamless. But I am going to go over this with the shimmer shade. But as you can see, I do have a lot of fallout from this particular color. Now, I don't use like the lighter shades in this palette that often to really know that it was like, you know, so patchy. But since I did do this makeup look in a couple of other videos, I had a lot of comments on how many people like this makeup, so I did want to just try to recreate it. So I'm going back in the Mrs. Bella palette now, and I'm adding that shimmer to the top of that Ciate London color. So this is just you know, just to give my eyes a little bit more depth. And I like to set, before I put a shimmer down, I like to put like a different color down first, so that the shimmer can have something to A, hold on to, and B, it sticks out just a little bit more, so you're not just having like glitter and skin. Although you can most certainly do that, but if I'm going for like a colored glitter look, I love to put a color down first. So now I'm going to go in with this gold color, and this is what I'm going to put like on my inner corners, and I'm going to bring that in a little bit. But as you can see, I was trying to use this like fluffier brush for this gold color, and it just absolutely was not working. So eventually I figure out that this brush is not the best brush for this look, and I'm gonna go ahead and finally give up on doing this, and I'm gonna switch over to a flat brush where I can pick up more color. So what I would do in the future, I would actually wet the brush so that I can get like a better color payoff, and it could be like a little bit more metallic. But basically what I'm doing is going in the crease or going in the corner and then kind of bringing it inward, so that it can just kind of be like another ombre effect. And I kind of go with the shape of my lid as well with this. So this just added like a little sunny little pop of color, which I really enjoyed. And like I said, guys, it's going to come together. Like, I know right now it probably does not look the best, but I swear once I get everything a little more cohesive, it all looks very nice. So I just play around with this as much as I possibly can, try to get it even. And then I'm going in with a clean brush and kind of blending it out a little bit so that it's not so harsh in the middle, and it just, you know, gets in blended a little bit better. So now it's time for my complexion. I'm going in with this Patrick Star One Size Secure the Blur primer. I really enjoy this primer. I picked this up at the Sephora sale back in April, and I have been enjoying it ever since. It's not too heavy, and I feel like it does help my makeup to stick to my face. I did recently pick up the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, so I can't wait to use that and tell you guys how I feel about that one as well. But what I have started doing here lately, I have been using this setting spray and going in and setting my actual primer. So this setting spray is from the Creme Shop, and this is the My Melody Priming and Setting Mist. What I have noticed from doing this extra step, I feel like it really has been absorbing more oil, because that's what this setting spray is actually supposed to do. But just from watching different makeup videos, I've noticed that some girls like to set like after each step, and I want to start incorporating like setting spray more in my routine instead of just using it at the end. So the foundation that I'm using today is the Tarte Face Tape foundation. I'm sure, I feel like it's called something else, but I just cannot think right now. But it's essentially the Face Shape foundation. I think that's what it is. So I'm just gonna go all over my face with this like IT Cosmetics angled flat foundation brush. And this foundation brush is supposed to be like infused with skincare. I'm really not sure if it really, you know, does anything, but I really like how this brush puts on my foundation. So I make sure I bring it down my neck, and then I go all in over my face and just get any spots that I may have missed. I want to make sure that, especially under my eyes and on the bridge of my nose where I have that concealer, I want to make sure that I cover all of that up. So once I'm done like putting the foundation on, I like to go in with a damp beauty blender and I like to blend everything out. I feel like I have not mastered just putting foundation on with a brush. I need to use my beauty blender. Like at the end of the day, that just makes me feel more comfortable about my makeup. And I know it's not like how you get an extreme full coverage look, but I feel like with the foundations that I use, they are thick enough that it really doesn't matter. But I do want to make sure I get all those brush lines and everything off. And I also use the beauty blender on my neck as well, since I did bring the foundation down there also. So I'm just making sure I get in all the nooks and crannies, in between my eyebrows, on the side of my nose, on the sides of my eyes, and around my mouth, just all over. I just want to make sure everything is nice and blended. So now I'm going to actually double conceal today. So this little concealer I just got from the beauty supply store, and this is in the shade 60. So I'm just going to go over all the places I normally would conceal. This is very close to the foundation shade, which is one of the reasons why I am going to double conceal. But sometimes I like to double conceal because I just like a more full coverage look. I just want the beat to be extra beat, so that's why I add a little bit more foundation, or a little bit more concealer, I mean. So after I go in with that, I'm going to add on top of that L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, just to make everything a little bit more brighter and to make my concealer pop and give that definition to my face, because I love a light concealer, guys. Like, I know everybody says that's like 2016 type makeup, but I love especially a bright under eye. So now I'm going in with the NYX Wonder Stick, and I actually only use the contour side. I don't use the highlighter side at all. I'm not really good right now at like cream highlighter and cream blush. I want to get more into it and try it out and just see what I can do with it, but I still haven't ventured into that realm. I'm a little bit afraid that I'm gonna mess up my makeup. And I think because at first I was doing it wrong. I was actually putting the cream over powder, so I would be done with my whole face and then I will use the cream, and then of course it will mess my makeup up. So I think I know a little bit better now, but I am gonna just go ahead and try that out. Probably in my next like get ready with me video, I'm gonna go ahead and venture out and try it and see, because you do still set the cream if you want to. Some people don't, but there's some people that I do watch that do set the cream. So I'm gonna be trying that out. I'm gonna stop being a chicken and trying it out. So basically now I'm taking my dense angle brush and I am blending out that contour, and I will just want to make sure I don't have any harsh lines. I've noticed that when I do my concealer and my contour at the same time, as opposed to doing the concealer first and then the contour, for some reason that makes my face way more beat. Like, I don't know what that's about, but I feel like my makeup turns out so much better when I do them at the same time, as opposed to doing like one after the other. I don't know, but there was another makeup technique that I used to do that I feel like used to beat my face down, and I'm going to be doing all that stuff with you guys. Like, I love doing my makeup. I'm so happy that I got back into doing my makeup, and it's just very therapeutic and fun to me. So I appreciate anybody that ever requests these types of videos and takes the time to watch them. It really, really means a lot to me because this is something that I really enjoy doing just for fun. So now I'm taking my beauty blender. I actually took it and squeezed it in a paper towel to make sure I don't have like so much foundation on it. I do still want a little bit on there because it helps to tone down the concealer. So I don't take like a fresh beauty blender, but I do make sure I squeeze it so it's not so dark. But what I've been doing here lately is just being a little bit more light-handed when I blend my concealer out. So instead of the beauty blender taking all the concealer off of my face and it's not really doing anything, when I'm way more light-handed with it and just taking my time with blending it, I feel like the concealer has been looking a lot more good, and it still stays on my face a little bit better. So I still have that beat look without taking all the product off. So yeah, I'm just going in, like I said, and just blending everything out, making sure I don't have any harsh lines or anything like that. You still might see some, but girl, it's gonna melt in my face eventually. So after I'm done blending, I'm taking this Revolution banana powder and I'm going in and setting my concealer. I'm setting everywhere that I put my concealer so that it does not crease, and also so we can continue to have that beat look. So I do add a lot of powder. I am oily, plus I was going to be outside, so I just want to make sure that my makeup does not go anywhere. Like, even if I'm not going to be outside, I always add a lot of powder because I like for my makeup to last and I want to get the most out of my makeup. I still have to use my little blotting pads because at the end of the day, I'm just oily, period. It really just doesn't matter what I do, but this just helps me, like doing these steps just helps me to be less oily, so my face is just not completely greasy, and I have time to go ahead and catch up with the grease and just use my blotting pads to get it away. The wonderful thing about blotting pads is that they don't mess up the color of your makeup, so it just gets the oil off top and it doesn't really mess with your makeup, and it kind of mattifies you. And you know, because some blotting pads actually have like a little powder in them, so it does help to mattify your face. So I'm using my favorite beat up little Sunstalker bronzer from Fenty Beauty, and this is in the shade Mocha Mommy. Of course, I need a new one. I keep saying that every single time, and I still have not bought another one, but girl, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I'm trying to stop using expired makeup. It's hard to get rid of stuff if I have not used it up, so I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying my best, but basically I'm going all over the places that I put my contour color, and I'm setting it. Now I'm going in with the Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Powder, one of the best drugstore powders out there, and I'm just wiping everything off so that everything can be seamless and nice, and I don't have, you know, any harsh lines or anything too dark, anything too light. So I just take my time. I make sure I go in on my neck as well, because you cannot forget your neck. Just because you put that foundation there, it doesn't mean that you're done. You got to go ahead and set that too, because you don't want any lines in your neck, giving away the fact that you have foundation on it. So I just go in, I make sure I rub everything off nicely. Now I'm just going in with a little eyeshadow brush and I'm contouring my nose with that Fenty Beauty bronzer. So I'm just doing a light contour today. I didn't use my cream. I feel like the last time I did this look, I did use my cream on my nose, but I just didn't feel like doing all that today. I don't know. I could have really snatched my nose up, but I didn't. I just went with a nice light contour, which it's okay for me. I don't mind. I feel like it still turned out pretty because you can still see the definition. So now I'm going in with that translucent powder from Laura Mercier, and I am carving out my cheekbones. I like to do this after the fact because I like to just make sure everything is where I want it to be, and then I can really see where I need to carve out everything. So I'm also adding that powder to the bridge of my nose. Now I'm going in with my highlighter, and this is the Laura Geller High Def Glow Palette, which is unfortunately discontinued as well. I'm going to try to stop using so many discontinued products, but I just have so many that I need to go ahead and use that I still use them up. So I'm just adding this to my cheeks. Now I'm wiping off that contour and setting powder from my nose so I can go ahead and highlight my nose as well, because I'm still a girl that loves highlighter. I still like to beam from the high heavens. So I add that to the bridge of my nose and also the end of my nose. Now I'm going in and wiping off that setting powder. As you can see, my cheekbones are now snatched. And even if it looks like it's too light, don't worry. Everything melts in once I spray my setting spray. So I'm going to end with this Juvia's Place Blush Duo. And I'm going to be using the hot pink shade. You guys know I cannot get enough of this blush palette right now. Like, I've been obsessed, and I just keep feeling like this is going to be the blush palette of the summer for me. Like, I just enjoy it so much. Like, look at that pink. Look how it looks. And I keep telling you guys, I was never even like a hot pink on the cheeks type of girl. I always just wanted a dark blush because I felt like that's what looked best on me. But girl, I can't turn back now. Like, I love how hot pink blush looks on my face. Like, I really enjoy it. So I'm just using this like small little brush, and I'm putting that on. Now I'm going in with the Sephora brow gel just to set my eyebrows to make sure that they stay in place all day long. Since I am going to be out and about in the heat, I want to make sure my eyebrows don't just melt off my face. So after I get done with my eyebrows, I'm going in with this Absolute New York Insanely Black Drawing Felt Eyeliner. This eyeliner is the truth. Like, I linked it down below in case you guys cannot find it in your TJ Maxx or Marshalls. They do have it on Amazon. It is more expensive because it's retail price, but honestly, I would have paid retail for this because it goes on so seamlessly and so smooth. Like, look at that. It's just like so buttery. And my eyeliner is just like, I'm ready to cut somebody with it. Like, it's sharp. I love it. So I am going in and extending it a little bit. I've been trying to do this lately because I love how that looks. I'm not the best at doing this just yet, but I promise I'm going to perfect it. I love how it elongates my eyes and makes me have more of a cat eye. Like, I really enjoy that. So I'm going in on my troublesome left eye now, and this eye just never wants to cooperate, whether it's the eyebrows, the eyeshadow, the eyeliner. Like, it just doesn't want to be good. So I take a bit of time trying to make sure everything's matched up. And you guys know, like, doing your eyeliner, it can be a struggle sometimes. Like, sometimes it just doesn't work out, and sometimes you just gotta let it be. Like, you just have to let it be. So I did the best I could. I kept fixing it up and did what I could, y'all. So they're sisters, not twins. So now I'm going in with just some mascara. I don't even know what this mascara is. I need some new mascara. I think I threw all my old ones away. Girl, I have no idea. But you can use any mascara of your choosing, of course. But I'm going in with this just to make sure that my eyelashes match up with the fake lashes. I can't even talk, y'all. So yeah, I'm using my Duo lash glue, and I use the brush on lash glue. It dries super quick, which I love, unlike that Kiss that was a fail. So I just go ahead and put on these lashes. I pop both of them on, and after we get done with this, it will be time to do my lips. Yeah, I'm struggling with that eye. Even the eyelash don't want to, it doesn't want to cooperate. I'm struggling. Like, why is the left eye the problem child? I don't get it. So moving on to lips, of course, I'm using my NYX Line Loud liner in the shade Rebel Kind. It's the only lip liner I currently use right now. Literally, I don't use any other colors. I'm just hooked on this. I want to venture out, but I just haven't. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it just goes with so many things. Like, I love how it looks on me. I'm obsessed. Like, I use this liner for everything. So I'm just making sure that I line my lips nice and pretty. And then it's time to go in with some liquid lipstick. So this lipstick is one that I found at either TJ Maxx or Marshall's. This is an Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick in the shade Bittersweet, which I unfortunately found out is discontinued. Like, when I was looking for the links for stuff, I couldn't believe how much stuff is discontinued. But this is just like a pretty orangey brown color. It's not quite terracotta, which I don't really like on my lips, but that color was pretty. And then I'm topping it off with this Juvia's Place lip gloss, and this is in the shade Barely There. I feel like the other day when I did this look, I did add more, like, I think I added the Fenty Gloss Bomb on top, but I couldn't find it, so I just stuck to this. But I'm just making sure that I have enough on so that it really makes a difference. So now that I'm finished with this, I'm going to go ahead and use two different setting sprays. I'm using that Creme Shop setting spray, the oil absorbing one, once again. And then I'm going on top of that with the Patrick Star On Till Dawn mattifying setting spray, just to lock everything in, because we don't want our faces to budge. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. Like, I really love how it eventually settled into my skin. As you can see, everything looks nice. It matches my skin tone. I love it. And yeah, so this was really fun. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you guys subscribe. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.